And he's back. I was just reading narrations.
There you go. No problem.
We're here.
I don't know why it keeps on kicking me out, though. That's just a weird thing to me.
Man, who knows?
Because even you are looking clearer now, because the whole time before, you've been like choppy the whole time to me.
Yeah.
And I'm checking on my YouTube and I'm having like 4K video. I'm like, why is that working and this is not? So,
yeah,
right.
I get it.
All right. What was I trying to read to you?
You were doing the 5 questions.
All right.
Philosophical questions.
Here we go. So the first one was, what are you afraid of losing when nothing in the world actually belongs to you? Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
And I thought that related to what you just said, actually, which is why it popped in my head. How you can't control other people.
Yeah.
Right? You only really experience the world from the boundaries of your skin, of the shell, the meat suit, right? So
yeah, I would love to sit up here and say like I'm ready. I got these things figured out, man. But and some I think I do have conquered, and then there's other ones where I know I don't.
mm-hmm.
But the thing that I value most in life is my experiences, my memories, and my family.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be my answer for that. The thing I'd like to say, which isn't necessarily what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I conquered is death, right? Fear of dying. And I'm not. It's not something I've conquered. It's something that I feel comfortable with, but comfortable in a sense of like, if I could get 1,000 more years, I'd take it.
Yeah.
But if I got to go tomorrow, I just want to make sure I'm just doing it right, man. And I just want to make sure that when I go, everybody knows that they're fucking loved and cared for, and they know that like he showed up.
Yeah.
And
Basically,
he tried.
Like you don't want it to end, but if it does end, you understand that this is how it is.
Well, not just that. It's so at the beginning, I think I've said this before, but at the beginning of all my journals, I usually have a line in there, and it says, "Today's a good day to die." Right. And when I first heard it, it's actually Hokahay. It's this thing that they thought was Native Americans said. Turns out Native Americans never said it.
Okay.
Right. From a movie or some shit.
It sounds like from a movie to me. Yeah. So that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's what they thought that Plains Indians were screaming as they ran into battle.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was never that. So anyways, but regardless, we're here, and I got this saying, so today's a good day to die. And so at the beginning of most of my journals, it says it. And then I usually put a little blurb under there, and it changes every time, but it's to the effect of, if I have to go today, make sure that everyone knows they're loved, they're taken care of. All my situations are square. All the things that I have in my life are enriched as much as I can enrich them. And not that I wouldn't want 1,000 more tomorrows, but to make today a good day to die. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and I try to live that, right? Because it's one of those things where like, it's hard to go to bed with certain things undone.
And it's good to like have that to strive for. I think that's a great thing to strive for. It's like when you go, you know that even after you're gone, things aren't stressful for people, right?
Yeah. So, like one of the things I can't believe I'm going to divulge this, but like one of the things that I've done recently is I paid for my funeral stuff.
Nice. I think you mentioned that was a goal.
Yeah. And so, I mean, not that I have anything fancy. That was the specific goal, was to make it so it's not fancy.
Just so it's not a headache. That's the
main
thing. That's a very big
That was the main thing. I just want, and it's on my bucket list.
Oh, okay.
Right, because on my bucket list, one of the things on there was choose how you go out.
Has that changed now that you're kind of out of the front line?
No, it's changed in the sense of that part, like, right? That's more of a technical part, not the actual part. If I get it my way, king for a day, and I get to pick how I go out. I'm 85 years old, surrounded by my kids, grandkids, lady, the whole nine.
Hmm.
And I've told this story before, but I'll tell it a million times, so I keep it top of mind. My son or my daughters ask me like, "Hey, like, what do you want to do? You got X amount of time left. Hey, what do you want to do?" And I want my answer to be nothing, right? Because I've had this idea for the long time that
Hmm.
I want to die empty. I want my tanks to be fucking completely done. And I
Internet
want to
hates
do
when
it
you're
all.
dying.
And I want to do it all with them, my family. Like, one of the things that's changing for me rapidly is I don't like traveling alone anymore.
Next
Yeah.
one is, if you deeply observe, everything is your teacher, the Buddha.
Mm. I mean, that, to me, that
Kind of
that
essence of this
speaks to
whole
everything I feel right
podcast,
now.
how it started, really, right? Finding gold and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, I haven't come up with a way to say it that I feels like is not pretentious, right? But like,
hmm
I am not an overthinker, and the only way I have to say it is I'm a deep thinker, right? But I think that
hmm
sounds gross. But regardless, that's how I feel about most things, man. I can't really say what I don't feel like that about.
hmm
I think that there's a lot of lessons that we skip over, and then even more so when I look at my career with a fine tooth comb, that's one of the things that I see the most are
Yep.
the lessons that I should have seen then, right? Or the things that I should have learned then, or, um,
The things you should appreciate in the moment, maybe as well.
yeah, there, boom,
Yeah.
dude, like that one. Like, even in that one for me as a dad right now, like that's one of the
Yeah.
ones that I'm trying to really embrace, because I so I got to go to Winter Strong with my oldest son, right?
Okay.
And so this is an event I go to every year. I talk about it a lot. Sorenex is awesome. They put on this event. It's essentially like advanced summer camp, but in the winter for hunters and meatheads. Like, they all come together to do this stuff. And I took my oldest boy this year, and it was really cool and interesting because I got to observe him as a man.
Okay.
Right? I got to observe. I wasn't dad. I mean, I'm still dad, but like, right? We're having conversations, and there's no like, it was just very, very different. And then I think also for him to be able to see me as something other than just dad or the dude who wore a uniform.
hmm
But there's this thing in there where I looked at him, and I'm full dad mode. I looked at him, and I remember seeing him in the picture where where he's wearing my parachute.
Okay.
Right. He's all mocked up as a kid. He's like fucking maybe 10 years old.
hmm
And he's got the parachute on and his big giant smile, man. And I'm looking at him now. I'm like, this is 20-year-old who's looking at me, who's taller than me. And I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, how much did you miss?
hmm
Right. How much did you, in between here and here, how much did you miss? And so I'm like, it's one of those things now, like with the younger kids, like, it's one of the reasons why I think having kids at an older age, even though I wasn't old, but like an older age, is like so much better because I'm so much more here,
Well,
present,
I'll push back a little
wise.
bit, because if you didn't have them at a younger age, would you even know to have that feeling at this older age?
I mean, true, right? Maybe, but I think one thing definitely happens for those of us who are in search,
hmm
and that's we all kind of come to this conclusion that speed, while fantastic, you also need the opposite.
Yeah.
Right. And I could not see that. Right. There are people who are my age who are like, why are you going so fast? And I would be like, why are you not? Like, you know? And so,
But like, hindsight is like, hindsight gives a lot, and we forget to like give it its flowers as well, right? Because if you didn't go through
oh,
those certain
yeah.
situations when you're younger, when you're older and you're having these deep thoughts, like, they might have not come, these deep thoughts, because if you didn't have that.
Oh, I agree. I think one of the qualities of a good life is being able to look back on things that weren't so good and
hmm
see them as good. right? I think that's one of these, and including that, like, yeah, I say that, man. I don't want to change shit though.
Yeah.
I don't
It,
want to
it,
change
it's
anything.
like last week when I said that, like, you kind of have to, if you win after something horrible in life, if you win after that, like, it takes effort. It's not going to be handed to you. But if you win
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, then you kind of like, well, I had to go through that to go through this because it's that fire,
Yeah,
right? So, yeah.
I think that's beautiful, dude. Like one of the things I heard that I love the most in kind of this context is the best thing to happen to you. Sometimes the very best thing to happen to you is for you to not get what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. But yeah, all things teachers is it's kind of like the Musashi one too, right? Like you see the way in all things.
Yeah. And like all
Yeah.
things teacher is also somebody might be a good example of what not to do.
Reverse
Yeah.
mentorship. You
Well,
know,
like I had a teacher
sometimes you
that
have no
said it.
good
Yeah.
teachers.
Yeah. I had a teacher that said that to me in college. And when he said that to me, it kind of alleviated a lot of anger, and not even anger, because I wasn't really that angry. Just like it made sense of a lot of situations. Let's put it that. It makes more sense. That's a better way to put it. Because I'm like, oh, yeah, why am I even upset? And like, that was a good example of what I don't want to be like, what I don't want to emulate, what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, and,
I
and now I can see it in front of me. Like, I don't have to live it. I got to experience it right there.
I think I'm a big Charlie Munger fan, right? One of the things I like about Charlie Munger is he always talks about the road less stupid.
I think I remember that one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And so it's this idea that most people's success can be handed to them by just being less stupid and
Yeah.
not falling into the same pitfalls, right? Like most men fall into the same pitfalls, if we're being honest, right? And I'm not saying I've avoided them because I fell into several of them, but but it's one of those things. It's like once you can kind of grasp that concept, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, so. That, yeah, I dig that. I dig
All
that
right.
a lot.
Number 3. The road to heaven feels like hell. The road to hell feels like heaven. Unknown.
That, I mean, I don't even know if there's much to say about that one, man.
No.
Like, easy. What is it?
Well,
Easy life, hard choice. Hard life, easy choice.
exactly,
Right?
100%. Yeah. I just saw
Yeah.
that. Like, I saw this. I'm like, let me say, I have one separately saved. I didn't want to share it with you before this. I have one
Yeah.
saved just as words. That's what I have it saved as.
That's good.
So yeah, I like that one. Just very straightforward. Because like, if you had a very easy, you know what? Another way to look at this is like, think of all the people that grew up with a silver spoon that are not happy. They had everything handed to them, but they don't know how to handle stress.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is, I don't want to sound like some of these internet whatever people were like, you need to be hard and like, but or like the world's being so soft, but I do think that we have, and I had a client who essentially had her parents and grandparents and the whole family, nerfed her world to the point where now when she experiences hardship, it's all tragedy. I mean, and to you and I, we would hear these things. To most normal people, we'd hear
Got
these
it.
things, and we'd be like, "Oh, that's not a big deal." But her, it's like, the sky is falling. The sky is falling, and it's like you've never been allowed to feel pain.
Yeah.
You've never been allowed to be to have any type of true discomfort.
Yeah.
And so it's that thing, man. And I hate to quote it or whatever, but like, if you want to be, you ask for patience, and guess what you get? You get something that's gonna drag it. You ask for strength.
Yeah, somebody's gonna test it, basically.
Yeah. Well, on the strength one, real quick, I think this is important to say. It's not the same, but different. Strong people often never get asked how they're doing.
That's true.
And some of them go, why does nobody ask me? Right. And then it's like, well, you never fucking presented I don't know that you're struggling. When you have this 700 pounds on your back, your face is not contorted. You're not breathing hard. You want to keep it together in front of anything and everyone. And so how am I to know that you're jacked up?
Yeah.
And I
Uh,
and I think that it's worth saying because sometimes you have to tell people, man, this shit's heavy.
you know what? I think I'm pretty good on that side of things because when I'm going through something, it's all that's on my mind. And if you ask me what's going on, I usually just be like, this is what I'm going through. But if you don't say it, like I'll look fine. Like I'll still go out and be laughing, have a good time. But this is what I'm going through. And I'll talk about it openly. And then I'll go back to
Mhm.
having fun and being lighthearted and joking about it. Because
Yeah.
like I don't know how to just sit there in it either, right? I'll share it and then
Yeah.
I'll make it like not as serious as it seems or as it is, right? So
Yeah. So
but
mine was different. Mine was I've never been this guy who was like, I keep everything to myself. It was
yeah.
more that I only share things with a handful of people.
Hmm.
And so if those handful of people weren't around,
Yeah.
I wasn't sharing it. And so now I think that there is a power in the right placed vulnerability, right? Meaning, and we talked about it a little bit the other week, but my madness is sacred, do not touch it. My vulnerability is sacred, do not touch it. Same, but I don't think you should get to wander around screaming like here's all my problems.
Yeah,
You
there's
know.
a Instagram
But I
post
do
that
think there's
sorry, there's an Instagram post I saw that made me laugh when you just said that because uh it was basically saying for the people that set up a camera and record themselves crying, I hope the worst happens to you. And I couldn't
yeah.
stop laughing because I'm like,
Yeah.
it kind of is it really that bad if you're gonna set a camera up? I don't know. I couldn't. Yeah.
I think people have a fascination with how they look when they cry.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's why I never comment on it. I think some version of humans not love, that's not what I meant. They're fascinated with their own pain, right? Especially if you think about how boring people's lives are. Some people,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
I forget about that too. But okay,
you know.
can you expand on that a little bit? Because for me, like the recording, they're fascinated with their own pain.
hmm I don't have any proof of this, man. This is just my
Just a
belief
feeling.
because
Yeah.
well, it's a feeling and I've seen it. I've actually seen it without cameras. I've seen people cry and go in mirrors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because they're going in the mirror because they're going to fix their face,
Okay.
right? You know
Okay.
what I mean? But it's something about like when they're going to fix their face and they're crying, they're looking at themselves,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I know like you're in the bathroom, like you see the mirror, you look at, but it just feels different every time I've seen it. Not like I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it like 1,000 times, but I've seen it enough where I'm like, man, like why, like what is this?
I'm gonna have to think
Um,
about this one for a bit because, like, I think there's something interesting in that topic, but I don't know what it is.
well, I think if I expand on it in a different subject, I
Yeah.
think what it is some people when you're going through pain, or existential crisis or heartbreak,
Mm-hmm.
there's something about it that I don't want to say like, I'm using the wrong word, but
Mm-hmm.
it's this thing where like you're in pain, you're in heartbreak. And then what do? Instead of fucking looking for goodness or finding goodness, you listen to sad songs to make you sadder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go back to the picture of the person to make you sadder. You do, all these things that seem crazy in retrospect when you're like, I don't want to be sad anymore. But it's like, do you?
There's definitely something to be said that fully feel the feeling when you're in it, and
Mhm.
maybe because the life's so easy, there is some benefit to dwelling on it a little bit, right? There might be something there because life's so easy that you could just like swipe next, right? So uh, so maybe there's something to be said that it's not as bad as like it might seem to us because we're not doing it, right? Because they're more connected to the emotion and the poet. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
I have no answers for this one. It's just one of the
yeah,
ones where I see it and that's what I think. I
yeah,
also think I also think because of the internet, people look for any excuse to be. I think we forget sometimes at a base level that fame and attention used to mean access to resources.
yes,
And so at some point, there's a switch in here that tells you find more attention so you can get more shit. And I also think that there's a thing there too. But,
I wonder, like, with the how accessible everything is, like us doing a podcast now, it's so easy now, right?
mhm.
The next generation, because everything will be so accessible, it just won't be as important.
Well, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at it now. Look at all the things that are important, but people
yeah.
don't know. They don't. They don't know. Like, man, listen. There was a blizzard here. I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and they had. And I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit, but they had 6 to 8 people, I think, die because they couldn't figure out how to leave from their car to somewhere warm, right? Because the traffic was so bad and everything else. And so
Wow.
you think about it, where I live and how even on 95,
Hmm.
essentially, if you get out of your car and just walk this way, you will run into something in a not very long time period. We're not talking about the plains
Yeah, yeah.
in Montana.
Well, I'm in Canada. I'm not even in the countryside in Canada anymore, and like there's snow here, and the amount of people I hear that just die in a car, like you said, like I didn't even think that was a possible thing. Especially
Yeah.
like, yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
wow.
So it's just like all these skills and skill sets and things that people used to have that were normal, and now you don't have them.
Yep.
But then we have these other things now, like if you think about the way, and it's funny I'm talking about parenting so much, but
Oh, you're a parent,
you think
so that's
about
where you can get. I would imagine a lot of gems you get from just the day-to-day life, right? So
yeah, I think it's just like if you think of our parents and the generation before our parents and like all the conversations they could not have.
hmm
They didn't have the words, they didn't have the desire. They didn't man, I got stuff to do. We have boxes to check off.
yeah,
Survival needs to happen
gotta
and
figure
they
it out.
can't have
Yeah,
yeah. And now we have parents who are like, "Timmy, Jimmy, I need you to understand that your purpose in life and that you need to feel this way and centered and holistic and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third." And it's like, man, like I talk to my dad sometimes and I hear about like how he thinks and feels. And I'm like, like one of the conversations I had with my dad that's along these lines is, when all the masculinity talk came up, I don't know when it started happening, 5-10 years ago,
yeah.
like big time all over the internet. I asked my dad, I said, "Hey man, did you guys ever talk about masculinity and manhood like that?" And he was like, "No."
Yeah.
He was like, "We just followed the examples of the men in front of us." And
Yep.
I was like, because, now you have, I don't know if you ever seen it. I think I talked about this last week too, but whatever. Like the guy with a list. Have you
No, you
heard of
didn't.
this?
No, you didn't bring that up last time. No.
Okay, so guy with a list is this guy on TikTok who every time women say they have the ick or
Oh, I've seen it. You haven't brought it up. I've
yeah,
seen it. It's like
yeah.
up to 500 something now. Yeah.
Oh, it's in the thousands
Oh, it's in
now.
thousands now. Okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And so, but I think between that and like Red Pill podcasts and all these other type of things, like you look at the list of things that men are supposed to have, right? And know and do or not do. And then you get down to brass tacks what it really is. And it's like, it's none of that.
You know,
It's
again, with that I find it interesting because, like, I don't know, growing up, I always thought you were supposed to figure out how to be like your dad said.
mm-hmm,
You followed other men, right?
mm-hmm,
I've never asked, like, I always look for men I respect, and I'm like, that's probably who I should emulate, whatever. I never really asked for opinion on a girl giving, oh, this is the ick, whatever. I'm like, but like, then I'm not me still. Like, I'm
mm-hmm.
not right. So I,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
there are plenty of people out here who give up who they are in order to be a part of something, right? Whether that's a
That,
relationship
yeah, I was gonna say
or a
more than just
tribe.
relationship. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I vowed to myself in like 2017, 2018 is I was like, I didn't really dig out until like 2020. Digging out meaning like find my way out of deep, dark depression or whatever.
hmm
Um, was that I would never ever hide who I was again.
Okay.
right? I realized that that was part of the problem. And
No, that makes
so,
total sense. Do you
you
mind
know,
sharing what what was like the biggest thing that you're not sharing with people in the past? Like,
oh,
or
all of it. Well,
all of it, like,
I wouldn't say all of it, but what it really was, if we're really
or a
being,
personality trait that you're hiding, maybe.
oh, I was just a terrible husband. I mean, this is number
Okay.
one, right?
Okay,
I was a
gotcha.
terrible husband, like, right? Like I was doing all kind of dirt and everything else. And so that's, you're wearing this mask,
Yep.
and behind this mask is you, right?
Yep.
But then it's like, this is one of the reasons why I love this picture. I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's a picture from Batman, no, whichever one has Joker, Heath
Yeah,
Ledger.
yeah, yeah. The mask. I know
He,
you're talking about. Yep. Yep.
yeah, he pulls the mask off and he's still got another mask.
Yep.
That was me.
Yeah. You don't even
That
know who
was
you
me.
are at one point, right?
Well, you know who you are, but like you can't talk about it, right? You can't talk about it and you can't say anything. And then what happens is you when you finally do talk about it, then you have to admit that you're a liar. And you
Yep.
have to admit that, and not a liar in this like I tell lies way, but like you're a liar to yourself, to your actual thing, like who you are. Like I think I said it on the very first podcast I ever went on, like 2018, 2019, man.
Mhm.
Like like you look in the mirror and you are supposed to see this like philosophical, heroic, good guy,
Mhm.
right? And what you actually are is a fucking monster,
Yep.
right? Because like this is one I haven't talked about out loud yet because I haven't squared it. And I'll say it for me. I'm not gonna say this for other men so they don't get
Yeah.
all fucking riled up. But like, I don't think you can be a good dad if you're not a good partner, lover, husband,
Yeah.
right? Now there's caveats to that, of course, but like, and so even saying that, because what I used to say is bad husband, good dad, right? That's what I used to say. But now in retrospect, if I think about it and I really am honest and I look at what the totality of life is,
Mhm.
the totality of a situation is, it's like, no, you're not even a good dad, man. You can't be.
I
Because I think part of the
I
thing of being a good
appreciate you
dad, like that,
saying that. So yeah.
yeah, like part of the thing of being a good dad that like I try to do even today is that like you have to be good to their mother. You have to be,
Mhm.
you know? And so um I think that's part of it, man. And I have a lifetime to make amends,
Yeah.
for that. So but anyways, that's that's that belief there or whatever.
Well,
And so I
again,
think,
now you get to be an example, right? So
yeah, well, I mean, two things. And just for anybody who's going through something similar, whether it's divorce, just a pain trying to deal with somebody who doesn't, whatever, or anything like that, is like, one, the first thing to remember is like people are under no obligation to see who you are now.
yep.
And in fact, they probably won't.
Mhm.
Um, there's a thing, I can't remember what the actual scientific name is, but to me, it's a set point. People have a set point in which they meet you, which they can no longer identify new versions of you. Most people,
Yeah.
not
Some
everybody.
people are like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
Like if you're the
you
friend
are.
that always partied with them, you're the party friend. If you're the guy that always did this, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They'll never see you as anything else, right? No
Yeah.
matter what you do, and if you do, they'll be like, he'll change tomorrow.
Mhm.
You know. So,
Honestly,
but yeah.
thanks for sharing that. And I gotta say, my approach has always been a little bit the opposite, where I went to school for biochem, was going to go the lab route and work in labs and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, while I was there, I'm like, I don't think I want to be indoors all the time. So I just dropped out. So like, I kind of, I get to a certain point and I'm like, I can't just do this anymore. Like, I just got to do something different. I needed to be
Hmm.
outdoors. And so policing was like a backup plan kind of thing. So if that didn't work out, I
Yeah.
was going to go to Far East Asia to teach English or something. Like I was just going to do something.
Mm.
Right. So,
Yeah, and so for me to be even more like kind of whole or totality, to the whole of it all. I don't want to say that again. I said it 3 times. Um, is is even this, like I talk about this with guys sometimes when we're talking about like relationships, like, and I'm not saying this is relationship advice, but like get with a person who you can tell your bad, dirty jokes to.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I have to hide this, what else will I hide?
Yeah.
Or what
Somebody you
else
could
can
just
I? Or
speak to.
yeah, like if I have to put these parts of me away,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm not talking about being a decent human when you're out interacting with the world or whatever. I'm saying
No.
like you two are at home and you can't talk about and say the things the way you want to say them. Because one of the things I think about too, man, is like if I did die tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
and they're at my funeral and they're like, so how is he? And they're like, man, he used to tell the dirtiest, raunchiest jokes. And they're like, what, he did? I didn't even know that about him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like now you're you know, you're Two-Face,
No, you're not.
right?
Okay, I'm gonna say you're not too.
Not Two-Face in a bad way. I can't
No,
think
no.
of the. I was
I was
trying to
gonna
think of the
say that
name.
people have different levels of access to you. The people that have certain
100%.
access to you, they had all of you. Some of them had this version of you on like Sunday church
Yeah.
somewhere version of you. They had, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, so don't give me. Yeah. I'm saying it poorly, but what I mean is like to not know, for people who are close to you, to not know who you actually were as a whole, I think is the problem. That's what
Yeah.
and
I
don't
think,
and
yeah.
yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't need my mom to hear the worst of my dirty jokes. It's not what I mean. But I think also it would be really weird to find out, like, you know, he curses. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of situation. So
I think a lot of people also mistake being close to you physically, as in like your geography is close to you or something like that, means you're close as a person.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They think just because your presence is around doesn't mean you're close. Where like I've gotten to know you over 2 years. We used to not talk every single day either. And since the first time I've started talking to you, like it's always been like this. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter when you meet people and they connect right, it kind of, you don't even think about this like hiding it yourself.
Yeah.
You just don't think about it.
I think. Well, I will say this though, just as a guy who did, I think sometimes you do, just because. Well, I would say people who are aware do. Well, and here's a great example, right? I'm gonna air more of my dirty laundry. So one of the places where I worked, infidelity was pretty normal. Talked about, like, just kind of was.
Yep.
And so that's what I did. Then I got to another place, and all the guys in here talk how I would talk now, right? Like I love my, blase blah, and she's amazing, and they meant it. And none of these guys they were all straight laced. They were all about their women and everything else. And I noticed myself not saying anything. I didn't do it on purpose. This is what I want to be very clear. I did not do this on purpose, but I remembered specifically a day where I wanted to say something crazy. And I stopped myself and I was like, oh. And it was also one of the reasons why I started being like, you have to fix your life.
You realize that
like,
point, right?
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I remember it clear as day. Like, I got ready to say this and I was like, and it's not like I didn't know better. It's not like I didn't like have a great example, but it was just,
if you're part of like if you're part of a cult where everybody is a certain way and that's all you know and that's what you, right? Like,
well, I also have this thing, man. I've been working on it for a long time. It's really bad right now, but it's kind of like a poem to young men. Right. And I was like, and in it, I say, like, be weary, young man, be weary of the world, because it will sell you beautiful things that are actually terrible for you.
That relates exactly to the quote, really, if you think about it.
Well, yeah. And that's it. It's like, it's not that you don't know better for a lot of people, for most people, but it's like the siren song.
Yeah.
It's a siren song. right? Whether it's women, whether it's fast cars, whatever your we'll say drug of choice is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the siren song can be so loud. And for me, it was rip roaring, and I got caught in it, big time. And I also think, and to just be even more open about it, that goes and plays to your securities, insecurities, and holes that you try to fill or whatever you have lacking or whatever, right? And so for me, having an insecurity at the time where I didn't think women liked me.
Oh, there you
So
go.
like, so whenever a woman was like, "Hey," I'd be like, "Hmm? Like what? You think me?" You know. So go figure. A couple years later, like I'm not gonna say I'm hot, but like I got way more attention than I knew existed. I was like, "Oh
Yep.
no, wait, this is weird." So but that's all retrospect. But I think it's worth saying out loud again because somebody might hear it and be in the situation and say, how do I handle this? Because, and I think this is the other important part, and then I'll shut up. Most men don't learn that kung fu. And what I mean is they don't learn the kung fu of how to say no to a woman.
Yeah. You know, just know in general.
Well, listen, I think a lot of guys say no to a lot of stuff.
Okay, Brian used to say no to
But
everything, right?
yeah.
Okay, and me and him talked. I'm like, I was the opposite. He said no to everything. He needed to get the power of yes for him. I would just be like, yes, let's do anything, and that's why I backpack traveled, did everything, bought a classic car for no reason, was saying yes to everything, right? And I had to say no. I had to learn another way. So when I say power of no, that like for me is very, very useful as well.
Yeah.
So
So for
with
me,
women and with other things. So.
yeah. So for me, it was more not the power no, the power yes. It was just straight up women, like right. Like I never got that. That was not the like when you're Morpheus and Neo and you're in the trainer and you're uploading all the fucking things for you. They skipped that disc for me. I didn't get that disc.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's what I mean is like, I mean, dude, like I had control of all these things and I'm like, I'm good to go. And then it'd be like a lady would walk in and I'd be like, sure. Hi, how are you? And so I think, but I also think in talking to other men, because so many men are not used to being hit on. So many men are not used to having a woman advance on them and be attracted to them up front, that you're not used to that kung fu. And in fact, the world typically teaches you to say yes. Don't you say no
like,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't know when the next one's coming.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, that was
Okay.
my long-winded rant.
No problem. Number 4, while the connection's still working. He who blames others has a long way to go on his journey. He who blames himself is halfway there. He who blames no one has arrived. Chinese proverb.
Damn, last part got me. I'm
Well,
my beliefs is
let's start from the start and let's get to the last.
okay.
So he who blames other has a long way to go on his journey. That I think is some of the people that you've coached, some of the people that I've mentored, coached a little bit. Along the way, it's everybody else's fault but their own. Right?
Yeah, it's never my fault. I'm never take ownership, and that's why it never gets fixed.
And the thing is, like, in those moments where it doesn't go your way, if you're not taking ownership, you're actually giving away agency as well. Right?
Agreed. Yeah.
So the second part is he who blames himself is halfway there, where you blame yourself. It kind of like becomes a badge of honor where you're just carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it becomes something else just to whine about. There's one way to look at it. One way to look at it. I'm not saying that's the right way, but that's the first thing that comes to mind because I just saved this. I didn't think about it before talking to you because I wanted to come in fresh as well. But what's your take on the second part? He who blames himself is halfway there.
I think the blame is where I get caught up. because to me, blame and ownership are different,
Yes.
right? Like, and so if you blame yourself, like you're not doing anything with it, you're just my fault. It's a woe is me,
Mm-hmm.
so of course, yeah, like, to me, what I would want is I would want to own the problem so I can solve the problem.
Well, you know what? We're doing the quotes right now. If we have time, we can make our own
Mm.
quote afterwards. Okay, so we're going to alter this one. I'm going with this one as face value, and then we can come back to it and flip it. Like we like this, and we're like, how would we word this for maybe people that we interact with more so?
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
thing, right? And the last one, he who blames no one has arrived.
That part, I'm a blank slate on that one. I get it, but I don't at the same time. Well, here, let me say it better. I want to say where it takes me is not that some things just happen,
Mm-hmm.
but like this is a part of it, right?
For
It's the
me, it's
whole like,
exactly what you said before about ownership. I think that line is the ownership.
okay.
That's what I
So
took
to
from
me,
that.
yeah. So for me, I took nothing at first, but then when I interrogated a little bit more, to me, it's the secret to my serenity is that this is going to happen. Life will
Mm-hmm.
happen, right?
It's kind of like
That's
what you said about suffering's sitting and knowing suffering is going to come. And you're just sitting and waiting
yeah,
for it.
yeah,
That's kind of like sitting in it a little bit, right? So,
yeah.
sometimes you kind of just have to roll with the punches, right? So,
Well, I think some things like um some things we know we have to deal with, right?
yeah.
Again, like talking about parenting a lot lately, but like when raising boys, yeah, this is gonna happen. You you will encounter this, whatever these ones are. And so, I try and tell the people that like, well, how do we? I was like, no, you won't. You won't escape this. Like you just will. Like, so I think it's like that. That's what I thought when I interrogated it a bit more. Is like some things are just going to happen, and
Yeah.
so it's about like how you know, ride the wave, I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, I like going to the quotes without actually researching what the quote was meant to be, because then
Yeah,
we're just
yeah.
taking our own take on it, right?
Same.
And then the last one that I have is, and I think this is something we've talked about before. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca.
Dude, I think that's one of the best quotes ever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of troubles that you have a day or a week or whatever, and especially if you talk to people, is innumerable for some humans, right?
Yeah.
They can make a mountain out of a molehill, and then you look at them and you say, hey, did any of that ever happen? Like, no, sure didn't. So that one
And
I think
it's
just hits.
is another one where it's like imagination. We suffer more in silence, right? And than if we just talk,
Yeah,
right? So that's another
yeah,
way to take it.
yeah. I think that I don't know. I think about that with worry because I have a hard time with people who are worriers, right? It's one of the weaknesses in me coaching
Mm-hmm.
when I have to coach somebody who just is a constant worry. I don't understand it.
How do you get them out of it?
I try to do just that, measure the worry and measure the worries that never happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then I think the other way to get out of it is it's the cure. It's the same cure for anxiety in a lot of cases. It's preparation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I find that a lot of men who worry just aren't prepared. They don't. It's like owning a house and having no skills of handyman. That's a
Mm-hmm.
bothersome. It's a bothersome feeling because when
Yep.
shit breaks, you go, "Oh no!" You pull a Home Alone, right? You do the fucking fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Full Home Alone. That's
yeah,
great. That's how I.
you
That's
know,
great.
yeah. You pull one of those because
Yep.
you're like, how am I going to fix this? And instead of like when you're a dude who knows how to fix things, you're like, it's more like shit.
Mhm.
And then you just start working,
Yep.
right? You curse a couple times and you go, oh, well, but if you don't have any of those skill sets, whatever the thing is, then all of a sudden it becomes and feels like this gigantic task and this gigantic, like, and so I think those are the two kind of ways you look at it. If I have the way I said it, I used to say it at the men's retreats is the most content men I know are the most capable men I know.
Yep.
Because when something goes wrong, they might not be loaded with cash or all, but they know how they have know-how. They have
Yep.
know-how. And the more you have know-how or you're savvy,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, for me, the
have
word is just has been agency lately, a lot, agency.
yeah, it was
So,
one of my favorites, man. So you're
yeah.
speaking my language right now. I also like I talk about this more in a sense of like hiring people in business, but like I personally, but it has to do with agency. I personally like savvy humans. And what I
Mhm.
mean when I say savvy is like they might not have a degree in the world, but if you give them a task or a thing and they just knock it out and figure it out. And they're like that with everything. Usually when you meet savvy people,
Yeah.
they're not a one-dimensional thing,
Yeah.
right? They're the
And
person who like they just got it.
segue into that because I was pulling up the other quotes I have saved. Um, People be so jealous of, and this is how they wrote it. This is not how I speak. People
Mm.
be so jealous of you because your character carries more weight than their title.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, because like a lot of
There it is.
people in business and different things that are very, very well and successful, and also like just high integrity. Some of them never got a degree. They just started a business. They hustled. They found some other people that worked with them really well, and they took care of their people along the way. And I think there's a lot more of that than is advertised because there's no drama in that. The drama is what gets talked about a lot more. There's a lot of good people with good businesses and good lives around them, and it's just why they don't need to be on the internet and be like recording themselves all the time and saying rah 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 because there's no drama in it. It's just it works
Mm.
smoothly. So
I mean, I got two for you there. One, I think it's really hard to find people who are in the act of love, talking about it, whether that's business, whether that's relationships. And what I mean is like exactly what you're saying.
hmm
We hear people and we see people post like they got cheated on and they got hurt and they got whatever, right? You hear people, man, I went bankrupt at 12 because my partner stole from me. All these things. You hear all the horror stories,
hmm
right? But well, yes, the happy stories get pushed down, and not by some algorithm. They get pushed down
no.
because they don't register,
hmm
right? Like people don't want to admit that, but it's there've been studies done. But regardless, um, but this idea of like happy couples and happy businesses, they're too busy in the act.
Yeah.
It's also the same thing for like dudes. That's one of the reasons why I try to coach good men to like say the thing, do the thing, post the thing,
hmm
because more people need to know that you exist.
hmm
Not because of like, hey, I'm a good man, but just like there's so many people out here who are like, good it's not even just men. Good humans don't
Humans. Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just like, that's because they're busy being
Yeah.
good humans.
And they're living life. They're happy. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's one of the things it's a thing I struggle with, man. Like the happier and the more content I get, the more I'm just like, am I really going to post this? And not in some bad way, but see, my saving grace is now that I find I can't draw. So my art has become photography and video,
hmm
right? That has become a creative outlet for me. It is, I am looking for beauty in the things that I can see. And
hmm
I'm just trying to sharpen my eye if I'm being really honest.
Yeah.
Um, So, but yeah, anyway, so I dig that.
No, but the posting thing is like
Mhm.
I agree with that 100% because um a lot of people post outrage, but I told Sean this is like if I do like these recording these conversations because they're called podcasts, but like just good conversations is what I want to record, really. And I just had no interest of doing it, just like being a talking head on the screen. I have no interest in that at all. But if I have a conversation with somebody and it's engaging back and forth, it makes me think, it makes them think, eh, then I think there's some growth in that because somebody else is giving me a different point of view,
Yeah,
right? And then
yeah,
creative outlet wise, like I do some recording with like I have a channel for coffee and whatnot for fun and whatnot. But my creative outlet is whatever house I live in. Always has been. Whenever I have
mm,
a house, wherever I live, I keep on like, okay, what can I do here? If everything's perfect, then it becomes okay. How can I do these like high end finish accent walls that are in these houses or whatever? It never ends because I like the idea of my art always around me because I grew up in a house full of art. My mom can
yeah.
paint. My mom can do embroidery, quilting. That quilt that I had up here, I have over there right now because I'm taking downstairs was my mom's. My
That's
dad can
cool.
draw, my brother can draw. I used to do painting, carving, any charcoal, all that stuff. And then photography, like anything that's creative, we always put it on our walls around us. So now the walls themselves and the home renos are the creative outlet too. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
like that. I That's become one too. It's not become one I've dove into just yet. Um, but I'm kind of in the prep stage, if you will.
yeah.
Because
Just
I'm
start, make some mistakes, and you see what happens, right? Because you
well,
can,
not even that,
it's
like
yours.
more like what I want. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
the make mistakes part I'm down for, but like I'm trying to figure out like exactly what I want and how it is and everything else.
yeah. Like
You
even
know,
little things like in a home, I think I love when people make their house their home. Like if I walk into a house a certain way and I always keep on like wanting to put my keys here and there's nothing there, I make sure there's
yeah,
something there now. I don't always just like complain that there's nothing there. I'm like, okay, now there's going to be something in this spot kind of thing, right?
yeah,
So make the
I get
environment
that.
yours. I like that. So
I think on that last topic, man, that's my thing
yeah.
with environment too is lights, art, lights. Well, this is the way I think about it. I think about it like a movie set,
Yep.
right? I think about it like a movie set because movie sets, as soon as Reservoir Dogs comes on, or you name the movie, right, like you already get a feeling of what you're in for.
Yep.
Laughter, seriousness, and I think your house is the same way, right? Like
Hmm.
you should walk in and it should already be that feeling of like this is home. This is good. This is, and you walk into one room and this is a serious room and this is the vibe. And
Yep.
so yeah, I dig that a lot.
Yeah. I'm excited for when I get the bedroom fully done and then the next place I'm going to work on. Yeah, like you can tell, I always like bold colors, but I have to find the right art before this wall gets anything put on it. So
I get that. The one that I've really embraced is all the pictures that I've been taking.
yeah,
I started getting them printed out professionally and
like big on big
ma-
prints.
yeah, like, and
Nice.
I'm doing like a collage wall because it's just so happened like every one of these trips that I've taken over the last couple years, there's about 2 to 3 pictures every trip that is just it's a signature trip
So you have a
picture for
bunch right
me.
now.
Yeah, well, I have about 6 printed out right now, but I have about 20 in the making right now.
Can I pitch something
And
for you to do?
yeah.
Art, do an art gallery.
Oh, like
You print them
in
out. You just
person?
go in there, and hang them up. You don't even have to be there. Just put it on the art gallery.
Oh,
Why not?
all right. Sold.
Okay, my mom.
Sold.
So the quilts, my mom actually puts them up in Hamilton in the McMaster Innovation Center. She puts her quilts up all the time, and everybody sees them, right? So like, why not? Like, what's holding
Yeah.
you back? You don't have to really do anything. Maybe one day you have to be there if you want to. Otherwise, you
Yeah,
find
I
one that just has a like a rotating gallery, and you're just like, hey, I have some photos I take. Would I be able to put some up here? You don't even have to put a price on if you don't want to, or you can.
yeah. I mean, I'm down. I never even thought about it. I just like wanted to walk by what I want is I want to be able to walk by this wall
Mhm.
and I want it to not scream at me look at me, but when I do look at it, I want to get lost,
Yeah.
right? Because I can see the one picture and I'm transported back to Indonesia, and I see the other picture and I'm back in Australia, and I see the other one and I'm in Jersey, right? And I love that feeling. It's
Mhm.
like I wrote about it this morning. I can no longer see portions of Fallujah.
I think I saw that. I actually did
Yeah,
want to bring that up today. I completely forgot. Sorry.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how about we talk about that as the end thing for tonight?
Okay. Um. So as I've said, and for people who know me, like memories and experience are probably the most valuable thing to me, and I think they are for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um. And Fallujah, without going into the war side of it or whatever, um, you know, guys my age were in college.
Mhm.
They're in college. They're doing college things. I was in Fallujah.
Yep.
Right. Don't get me wrong. Like we partied before, we partied after, and all that other shit. But I grew up there. Like that's the first place I remember having conversations like this as a
Mm.
young man, right? Trying to understand religion, trying to understand manhood, trying to understand relationships, feelings. I remember this isn't the same thing, but I remember the first Kanye West album,
Mhm.
right? I got the Kanye West album and I was sitting on this rooftop in Fallujah watching bombing runs while Spaceship played. Right? And it's
Yeah.
like it's burned into my I mean, dude, it's burned into my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
But when I think about the compound, it's fading and I know it. Like I can see it, but I know it's a caricature and it's a lie.
Mhm.
Right. And so to me, what I can liken it to for people who've done it before is if when you go home as an adult to your elementary school
Mhm.
and you're like, what? That's what it is. I don't have to go back to know that. I just know that because there are other times and other locations and feelings where I'm like, I know it. Dude, if I could draw, I'd get you a pristine
Yeah.
image. But for Fallujah, I'm losing it. But I still have the feeling, I still have the conversations, and I still have the smells and sounds.
Mhm.
You know, like I was talking to a buddy of mine about it today because he commented on it and he was like, I can see, but I can't smell or hear.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so, and so I think it's just one of these things, man, when you talk about memory and you talk about experiences, how do you root yourself in them? And so for me, this goes back to the other conversation we talked about where I root myself into these experiences with music
Mhm.
and pictures. And it's also one of the reasons why I take so many damn pictures, right? I was the opposite of what I am today.
Mhm.
People would pull out cameras and I would dodge them. I'm like, I'm Heisman and I'm getting out the way. So I don't have a lot of pictures from 2000 to 2014.
Yeah. I always like to be behind the camera. I never got was in pictures, so I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. I never wanted to take pictures of myself. Like if I was in a picture later on, like probably like after I had not kid, I already had kids, but like when I was having my second set of kids, um,
Yeah.
I, I didn't mind being in a picture then, but I wasn't going to be like, set up a camera and take a picture like I would now. Right.
Yeah,
Like,
I would always set up like I had tripods and everything. I would always go take pictures and do that. I was just behind the camera. I always enjoyed what I was looking at because I wanted to capture what I was seeing, right? And I didn't really care if I was in it at all. Now is one of those things that I do enjoy being in pictures when it's like with people. I do enjoy that a lot. So,
I enjoy all of it, man. I enjoy being in pictures. I enjoy being in pictures with people, but I enjoy being in pictures again because to me, it's like it is a snapshot in time.
mhm.
Like there are several pictures I have, and I have one picture to me that's priceless. Like you couldn't name a price for me to give it to you, right?
Mhm.
because of what it meant and what it means. And so, I'm not one of these people who like, oh, and then here. So we talked about it earlier with the whole like all lessons in all things,
Mm-hmm.
right? The other lesson that I got from pictures, what you dislike now, you'll love tomorrow. And what I mean is
Is this
like,
based off the Hawaii picture?
no, it's based off of a lot of things, man. It's based, if I'm being completely honest with you, is this usually based on how I interact with women in photos,
Mm.
right? Like, I can't tell you how many women I have taken pictures of or dealt with or coached or whatever, and they all say the same thing to a T. I didn't think I was hot back then. I didn't think I was hot. I thought I was fat. I thought I was this. I thought I was that. And then they look at those pictures now and they go, holy shit, what I wouldn't give to look like that. What I wouldn't give to be like that. Right. And so I think about that a lot, not in terms of like, I felt like that, but in terms of like, in this moment, there's a lot going on. And I
Mm.
think it's cool to be able to think about it and look at it, even if it is. And again, tying it back to another one, even if it is something that was bad, right? Because I think, like, again, I think the hallmark of a good life is being able to look at the bad thing and go, it got us here.
Yep.
A more fati, right? Like, love the hand that you're dealt. Play it, play that motherfucker. It's the only one you got.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when it comes to pictures and art, or specifically the pictures, that's one of the things I think about constantly is, this picture might not mean anything to me right now, but I don't know that it won't mean something to me in 10 years.
I guess I never thought about that.
You know, um, it's also, and then this is just another aside for me, is I like imperfect pictures. And so a lot of pictures that people would like toss because they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, its lighting's wrong or it's blurry, or I'm like, fucking, I love those. I don't know what it is, man. That's, that's one of my things. So, but I
Yeah,
like
it's
that shit
artistic.
with everything.
Yeah.
I love patinaed, lived in um situations.
Yeah. I like old things made new. I like that a lot. So,
Yeah.
but if you want, you can put that picture you like at the end of this podcast if you want to. It's up to you. But I think that's a good place to end it. I don't have anything to add, really, to be honest. I wanted to ask you about that. So, yeah.
um I got nothing, man. Only thing is, I will say this is as a sign off, like one liner quote.
Hmm.
Um the light is never where I expect it. It took me 40 years, 43 years, 44 now, to stop wanting it to be that way. To think I know exactly where this piece goes or something. Wisdom and being smart is about predicting where you'll find the light. But instead, it's about being ready and being able to use it when it appears. I never know where the light is. I never know where to expect the light. It's this thing I've been thinking about, man, because it's like you wake up and you know you're going to have a good day
Yeah.
or something like that, but it never really appears the way you want it to, or it never shows up the way you want it to.
Hmm.
I keep thinking about that. The light is never where I expect it. And instead of expecting it, I just want to be ready for it.
And, well, to build on that, like, with people coming up to me, like the online group, and then other people I've met online, and people just asking questions all the time, you don't realize that, like, sometimes, like, when I talk to you, I just ramble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I usually say. I just ramble. And you don't realize when you're rambling, when you're sharing stuff, how much what you share, if it's insightful, it might be that light for somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't realize it because, like, I just talked and I had a number of people reach out, like, what you said made a lot of sense. I'm like, I don't remember what I said because I was in the moment just chatting, right? You know what I mean? And I do that a lot where I'm just like, can you refresh my mind? Because, like, in the moment, like, I'm just like, I'm riffing off of what somebody else said, then it kind of drove me to some other conclusion, and I just was talking. And then all of a sudden, somebody that didn't say anything messaged me later about it. I'm like, it's that's another thing about like how you just said you take pictures, sharing them more and whatever. Um, it's fun to hear, and I think maybe that's what's drawn me to like these recording of conversations. Like I don't know what anything that we're saying is going to be of any value later on, but I know that I'm truly enjoying the conversation, and if I'm truly enjoying the conversation, the topics, whatever, that's enough for me to know somebody else is going to enjoy this too,
I dig that.
right?
You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I I and we'll say that I'll say this and I'll go.
Mhm.
Elite pro tip. Um, Record, take pictures of your friends doing cool shit when they don't know it. That's a great
Mhm.
tip for friends. Also, record and not you can't take pictures. Record audio or video of your friends talking when you know that they're saying some cool shit because they never know what they said, right? And one of the best gifts that I received over the past couple years,
I'm an example.
uh, yeah, is Elliot and several other people. Nicole, she was at the Idaho retreat.
Mhm.
They sent me videos of me doing the same thing you're talking about. Like I pop off and I don't know what I'm saying, right? I know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, but I can't remember. Like, if you ask me, like, what'd you say? I'm like,
Yeah. I just got a feeling that's about it. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but having them send those recordings after
Mhm.
was one of those things where it's like, man, especially because I'm at a point now where like, I don't hate listening to myself. I'm not like sitting around listening to myself, so I don't want people to think that either. But like before, when I
Yeah.
used to hear my voice, I'd be like, "Ooh, that's what you sound like. This
Yeah.
is
I think
terrible,"
I think
you
I had
know.
to get over that too a little bit as well. So yeah.
Yeah. But now it's like I hear it, and it's even better for me personally because now this becomes writing material. So like the
Yep.
thing that I popped off on is now the thing that I can go back and be like I can use as source material. But so yeah, elite pro tip for friends: do that. Be a good friend. Catch your friends in the act. Which is probably my favorite thing is I want to be caught in the act of doing things I love. So that's
Yep.
it.
Yeah. Right. Time to sign off.
That's it. All right, man. See you next week. Hopefully, we'll
There.
find some gold in between in there. See you
Yes,
later.
sir.